Hey everyone, it's your favorite political innovator here, David Washington, coming to you from Central Florida, parts unknown right now. Hey, while I'm working at my computer here, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about something that a conversation I was having with a friend about a week or so ago. And let me preface this that if I didn't have the life experience that I have and have lived out of the country and experienced things here in America that I have experienced, I would not be making this particular video. But anyway, I was talking to my friend, right? Alfonso. That's what we're going to call this person, Alfonso. And we were talking about immigration policy here in the United States. Here we go. That's correct. Immigration policy. And my friend was like, David, you have to understand the people who have come here from other countries legally, illegally, they come for a better life. It's like I get that. However, for those who have come here illegally, whether they've been here 5 minutes or 50 years, they are here illegally. And there are policies and laws that we as citizens and residents must follow. And I understand that each situation is an individual situation and with individual circumstances. I understand we must have empathy for those who are in um, situations that are not as good as our own. I get that. And believe me, I'm very empathetic. Empathetic. However, I was listening to my friend Alfonso. Then I, I stopped Alfonso and said, you know something. Um, Speaking of empathy, I recently had a get together at my apartment um, for some past associates that worked with Jay in Washington. And it was about maybe five of us. And I invited them for a nice barbecue. You know, I grilled and I've done that before. A nice barbecue, chill out. It was Saturday, late afternoon, early evening. It was hot in the summer kitchen. We were relaxing, have a good time. There was, no alcohol because I really don't do that. And everyone was having a good time. And but there was one particular um, former associate um, who kind of stuck around a little bit later than the rest of the associates. And I was wondering if he had, an issue with, maybe getting home or, that person, wasn't feeling well or what. And I asked him, is everything okay? Did you have a ride home? Is something wrong with your car? I find out that, the person ended up, Ubering to the cookout. And it was late. And I was like, if it's too late for you to get back to where you need to go, you can, stay here. I have plenty of room. And like, cool, nothing to it. I thought, okay, come the morning when I'm, ready to go to church and everything, you know, this person will be, ready to go on their way or already left. And morning came and I'm getting ready for church and everything. And the person is still in the spare bedroom, knocked out. And I was like, it's no big deal. Once I come back from church, that person will be gone or whatever. And it's no big deal. Well, yeah, it started to become a big deal. And the person, was still in the apartment. And, yeah, I didn't notice that the person had some of their belongings with them in the backpack and their laptop. And they did. And I was like, okay. And the spare bedroom looked very lived in. And say, what's going on here? I thought you were leaving. And this former associate's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a little difficulty, but I'll be leaving, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is not your home. I expect you to be gone, like soon. Well, soon turned into a couple of days. And I was very nice and charitable, but enough is enough. And I asked my friend Alfonso, what should I do? What should I do? And my friend Alfonso kind of chuckled and said, well, I'm sure you were nice to them and everything. It's like, yeah, I was very nice. I went out my way and I was very cordial, very nice. And, it's like, well, David, you're going to have to call the police. That person does not belong in your apartment. That is your apartment. They are not paying any rent. They are uninvited. They came there, under the premise of coming to an event that you were hosting. The event is over. They're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be gone. Call the police. I didn't call the police. I did not call the police. I did not call the police because this was a made up event. And what I was trying to illustrate to my friend Alfonso is that if there's an uninvited visitor in your home and that person is not supposed to be there legally, according to Alfonso, their own testament, that person needs to go. And if local law enforcement has to get involved, then so be it. And so when I equate that particular situation to what's going on with our immigration policy here in the United States, in the Trump administration, no matter where you fall in this argument, no matter where your stance is in this particular issue, regardless of what it is, the law is the law, and this administration is actually enforcing the law. Period. Of course, my friend Alfonso was a little bit upset because, you know, the illustration I laid before Alfonso was something that they were not expecting to equate to the conversation we were having about immigration policy. And if you're not supposed to be here, you're not supposed to be here. Period. So, regardless of how I feel, my feelings don't mean anything in this. It really doesn't. And it's unfortunate that people who have made a life here in these United States, however, made no effort to get back in line and go through the process of becoming a US citizen. And that's not fair to those individuals who did it the right way, who stood in line and waited their turn. For those who have decided to take the government's offer of $1,000 and free transport back to their home countries with the promise of being able to come back in the right time interval and apply for residency or citizenship. However, for those of you who are arguing on behalf of the larger illegal immigrant community and arguing against the policy of enforcing the law, it may be messy, it may be ugly, it may be nasty, but perhaps we're doing the right thing for America first. So saying that, Let me know what you think. Let me know about my story uh, with Alfonso. Let me know what you think. Bring your feelings elsewhere, not here. Let's have a honest, tactful conversation around the facts. Period. Alligator Alcatraz, regardless of how much money has been spent and will be spent, is needed. And if you think that's wrong, well, get out and vote for someone else in 2026. But to the liberals and Democrats and their allies, what is the alternative? What is your solution? While I listen to the crickets, I want to tell our viewers and our listeners thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless. Thank you for listening, for watching. And if you think that others can learn from this content, grow from this content, please, whether it's your family, your friends, those influencers in the wild, candidates, electeds, please share this content with them so we all can have a tactful conversation and engage one another in respectful ways. And we all learn from each other and grow together because that's what it's all about. So I appreciate it. I'm going to get back to work. I got a ton of stuff to do. We'll see you the next time. This is the David Washington Show. My opinion, period. Let's hear what you have to say. We'll see you the next time. God bless. Love you. Bye.